Massive tech layoffs are here, and this might be a good thing for you. If you're impacted by this could be a unique opportunity where you have the skill sets and the time for creation of something that could potentially replace your income or build something that helps with career progression in a way that you might not have had that opportunity with your previous job. Now, first, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this or be tone deaf to the fact that layoffs suck, especially if you're somebody who went through years and years of schooling to finally land your dream job and you were let go from that, or if you have a family to provide for. These are all huge sources of stress. So mourn that loss for what it is, but also for some of these reasons, that's all the more reason to understand what your options are. So if you're new here, I work for Empire Flippers, which is an online business brokerage and a marketplace that helps people buy and sell online businesses. And these are online business models such as SaaS businesses, content sites, apps, digital products, e-commerce businesses, ebook businesses. And I've personally worked with hundreds of buyers and sellers overseeing the acquisition process. And I also interview sellers every single week. And a lot of these people are people with jobs, people who have families, students even, who have built something on the side, or who have turned this into their full-time thing, or who have bought something and are growing that business. And I say this to illustrate 2 points. One, these are people like you and I who may have jobs or other responsibilities. And two, these are people building businesses that are not the traditional startup pathway of having to raise capital in order to then hire a team and then build the company from that point. All to say that building something truly life-changing that will give you options is absolutely not limited to just the 1% or those who are really well connected in Silicon Valley. So if you've been let go recently, your first move was probably to look for other jobs, and you've probably seen that a lot of other people are applying for those jobs as well. So here's another option that I want to talk about, which is building or buying a business for the purpose of progressing in your career while you don't have a job, and as a solution or an option that will help you stand out as you're reapplying to these other positions. So if you were to build your own product, a SaaS product, a digital tool, an app, this experience would allow you to learn more of the ins and outs of a business, more from the business owner's perspective than as a specialist who is only limited to one particular role, usually within a large company. And this can really help you in many ways. First is if you're trying to develop your skills, your craft in one specific area. Maybe you're a programmer, just to use an easy example. You're a programmer who knows a set number of languages, but you want to increase the breadth of the languages that you know to make you a more viable candidate for other options. You can build something with that intention in mind, but you don't have to just build something based upon a tutorial or a product that's just meant to be for a portfolio. It can also be a business that you're building that has the side effect or the side outcome of having you understand that specific language and make you a stronger candidate for other jobs. And another thing, if you want to go more towards the management route, let's say instead of learning that other language, you now decide to hire out a contractor or a group of contractors. Maybe there's something that includes design work, programming in a certain language. Now you're tasked with hiring contractors to define the parameters of a project, to estimate the timeline, to calculate the cost, to communicate with these individual contributors on their progress. These are all managerial skill sets, and this is something that you maybe wouldn't have had the opportunity to do in your previous role. So instead of waiting for that opportunity to get management experience or become a manager primarily based on tenure in a company, you can create that experience for yourself, create those skill sets for yourself by building something that puts you in that environment where you have to exercise those skills. And then come time where you're applying for those roles, you're now able to speak upon those experiences based upon real-world scenarios. Creating portfolio-based projects is probably not a new thing for you, but think about maybe intelligently building your portfolio based upon a business. And this is either a business that you build or buy. Now, another reason why this could be a really great time period, a really necessary time period, is that this could be leading to the next generation of innovative businesses. Suddenly there's a ton of technical talent who all at the same time are looking for ways to use their skill sets. So if you're considering building something and you don't necessarily want to do this on your own, now is a time where people are more likely or more available to come together to pool their resources both their financial and their technical resources to build something that will become truly innovative. So let's say you've actually had this dream to build your own thing to where you didn't need to work for another tech company, or you didn't need to work somewhere just because of the benefits, just because of the money, but you're also probably well aware through your own experiences in the tech space of the huge risk involved with starting something from scratch. You probably know that it'll take several years just to get something validated and off the ground, and that outcome might never happen if you don't ever meet product market fit. But I want you to understand that this reality might be far more attainable than you realize by simply buying a small business as opposed to building it from scratch. This is an avenue that can save you potentially years and reduce the risk of failure. So as mentioned before, at Empire Flippers, we sell a lot of different types of business models: SaaS businesses, digital products, e-commerce businesses, content sites, and all of these businesses are profitable, making money from the day you acquire the business, and they often have a history of performance so you can see how volatile or stable a business is. And here's where you as a professional in the tech industry have a particularly unique buying opportunity compared to buyers without a technical background. So some of the businesses on the marketplace, which includes SaaS or some digital products, some subscription platforms, maybe some content sites that weren't built just on WordPress but were custom built, these all were built with a technical skill set, some of which require ongoing technical support, an owner with a technical background in order to either build on the product, resolve technical customer support questions, make improvements, resolve any bugs. So these might be incredible businesses and might not actually require a lot of technical support, but they do tend to dissuade buyers who have no technical knowledge, who aren't able to accurately assess just how technically demanding a business is. So now you, as somebody with technical experience, maybe design experience, or some type of skill set that could be applied to an online business, you could potentially be an amazing owner of this business, and you might be able to tap into an unexplored growth opportunity. Maybe a product could be built out further. Maybe the business is currently outsourcing programmers or some type of technical skill set that's eating a lot into the profit margins of the business. So by you just having that skill set and taking that role on, you might be able to increase the profit margin significantly of your business. And businesses on Empire Flippers are usually valued between 5 figures to maybe 7 or 8 figures. And obviously the businesses with the higher valuations provide a higher monthly profit. So if you buy a bigger business, this is one that could potentially replace the income that you were experiencing at your job. This is also a business that is more likely to have other contractors or maybe even full-time employees that you'd be able to oversee if what you wanted to do was build yourself into more of a managerial position. So if you've been looking for an opportunity to apply your skills on something of your own, this could be a way to do that while reducing risk. And to reduce risk even further, going back to the point of working with others to build something, you can also work with others to acquire and grow something, to combine your resources. But you may be wondering, what about funding? I don't have the money to afford a high 6-figure business, or I don't want to take that risk right now while I don't have another source of income. All valid points. So there are a few ways that you can actually fund a portion of the sale. The first being through an earnout, which is essentially seller financing. So this is more common for some of the larger businesses, which is why I mentioned the higher 6-figure or 7-figure. But an earnout is essentially where you are paying for a business with a percentage of cash up front, and the remaining is paid out over time. And now this can be either a fixed period of time, so let's say 50% of the business is paid for cash up front, and then the remaining 50% is paid out over 12 months, one payment per month. Or it can be more revenue or profit based. So you pay out a certain percentage of cash up front, and then the remaining is paid out as a percentage of the business performance. So that's the first option. Another option is going through private lenders. So we actually right now work with a company called Bupos, and they provide funding for mostly e-commerce businesses. But as an example of this kind of company, they provide a certain percentage of funding, and it's not even a personal guarantee on that funding. You can consider going the more traditional route of like the SBA loans. To be honest, this has been less successful for online business acquisitions. It's not impossible, but it's just been less common, probably because this business model is newer, at least in the eyes of these government lending programs, but it is an option that you can explore. But I would definitely consider exploring those first two options, the earnouts and the online business loan options, if you're interested in working with funding options that are more familiar with providing online business funding. So I know this time is tense, but I just want you to know that you do have options. And if you want to explore this option just to see if it is something that works with you, you can get on a free call with our buy-side sales advisors. They can talk to you about what even exists on the marketplace, and they can learn a little bit more about what your skill sets are, what you're looking for in a potential acquisition, what your budget is, and they can tell you what businesses might be a good fit based on what you're looking for. You can also just check out our marketplace for free, but also if you are interested but you don't really know what type of business model you might want to get into, maybe it's not SaaS, maybe it's KDP or Amazon FBA. I've recorded a few videos where I go into depth on each of the major business models. So if you're somebody with a technical background watching this, then I'm gonna start with the SaaS video that you can watch here. And if you found this video helpful, and if you as a tech professional want to learn about how you can get into the world of buying businesses, feel free to let me know in the comments below. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.